Washington, Special Counsel Robert Mueller said Wednesday he believed he was constitutionally barred from charging President Donald Trump with a crime, but emphasized that his report did not exonerate the president. The comments at an extraordinary press conference were Mueller's first public statement since his appointment as special counsel 2 years ago. "If we had had confidence that the president clearly did not commit a crime, we would have said so," Mueller said. "We did not, however, make a determination as to whether the president did commit a crime." The statement came amid demands for Mueller to testify on Capitol Hill about his findings and tension with Attorney General William Barr. Related slideshow, Trumped. People who left or were fired during Donald Trump's presidency, provided by photo services. Since the beginning of his term in January 2017, the Trump administration has had its share of staff shakeups, reorganizations and departures. Here are some of the White House staffers who've been fired or chose to leave U.S. President Donald Trump's administration. Last day at office is not the day they handed their resignation, but the actual last day of service. For groups, it's when they were disbanded. Designation: Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security. Last day, April 10, 2019. The acting Deputy Secretary of the department has stepped down from her post amid a staff reshuffle prompted by the president. Outgoing Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen tweeted about Grady's resignation, saying, "Acting Deputy Secretary Claire Grady has offered the president her resignation, effective tomorrow." For the last 2 years, Claire has served at DHS GOVW excellence and distinction. She has been an invaluable asset to DHS, a steady force and a knowledgeable voice. Grady served as a civil servant for over 28 years with experience at the Departments of Defense and Homeland Security. Designation: Secretary of Department of Homeland Security. Last day, April 7, 2019. A former White House Deputy Chief of Staff, Nielsen was at the forefront of Trump's tough immigration policies, most notably the push for separating migrant children from their parents. U.S. Customs and Border Protection Commissioner Kevin McAleenan was appointed as the acting secretary. Designation: Food and Drugs Administration (FDA) Commissioner. Last day, April 2019. A former clinical assistant professor at the New York University School of Medicine, Gottlieb served as the FDA commissioner since 2017 and was credited for his push to reduce underage vaping. In his official resignation letter, he mentioned long commute from his home as the primary concern. Designation: held Federal Emergency Management Agency (FEMA) Administrator. Last day, March 8, 2019. Appointed FEMA Administrator in June 2017, Long announced his resignation in February 2019. He said in a statement, "During my tenure, the agency worked more than 220 declared disasters." Long's deputy, Pete Gaynor, was appointed as acting administrator. Designation: White House Chief of Staff. Last day, January 2, 2019. A retired Marine Corps general who served during Operation Desert Storm in the Iraq War, Kelly was previously Secretary of Homeland Security. Appointed Chief of Staff in July 2017, his relationship with the president reportedly deteriorated over the months. Early in 2018, he was forced to publicly deny calling Trump an idiot. On December 8, 2018, Trump confirmed Kelly's departure at the end of the year. The president has since named a temporary replacement, Mick Mulvaney, the director of the Office of Management and Budget. Designation: Defense Secretary. Last day, January 1, 2019. On December 20, 2018, the day after Trump announced the U.S. would withdraw troops from Syria, Mattis confirmed his resignation in a letter that went viral. A career soldier who commanded forces in Iraq, Afghanistan and the Persian Gulf, he blamed irreconcilable differences with Trump for his resignation, which was scheduled to come into effect on February 28, 2019. However, the president chose to hasten Mattis' departure, announcing on December 23, 2018, that a temporary replacement, Deputy Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan, would assume the office on New Year's Day. In his letter to the president, Mattis wrote, "Because you have the right to have a Secretary of Defense whose views are better aligned with yours on these and other subjects, I believe it is right for me to step down from my position." Designation: Attorney General. Last day, November 7, 2018. Designation: U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations. Last day, end of 2018. On October 9, 2018, Haley announced that she would be resigning at the end of the year. Earlier a Trump critic, she was named the nation's ambassador to the UN just weeks after his election. She said, "It was a blessing to go into the UN with body armor every day and defend America. I'll never truly step aside from fighting for our country. But I will tell you that I think it's time." Designation: Environmental Protection Agency (EPA) Administrator. Last day, July 6, 2018. On June 5, 2018, Trump shared the news of Pruitt's resignation on Twitter. He wrote, "I have accepted the resignation of Scott Pruitt as the administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency. Within the agency, Scott has done an outstanding job, and I will always be thankful to him for this." Pruitt's resignation came after months of controversies and amid calls for investigation of alleged hiding or falsifying of records of meetings and discussions with industry representatives. He wrote in his resignation letter, "It is extremely difficult for me to cease serving you in this role, first because I count it as a blessing to be serving you in any capacity, but also because of the transformative work that is occurring. However, the unrelenting attacks on me personally, my family, are unprecedented and have taken a sizable toll on all of us." Designation: Director of the National Security Agency. Last day, May 4, 2018. Ending a 4-year tenure, the Navy Admiral has announced his retirement from the agency. His tenure was marred by leaks and there had been rumors of an imminent firing. Designation: Homeland Security Advisor. Last day, April 10, 2018. A day after John R. Bolton was appointed as National Security Advisor, Bossert handed over his resignation on April 10, 2018. His departure was confirmed by White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders. She said, "Tom led the White House's efforts to protect the homeland from terrorist threats, strengthen our cyber defenses, and respond to an unprecedented series of natural disasters." President Trump thanks him for his patriotic service and wishes him well. Designation: National Security Advisor. Last day, April 9, 2018. McMaster took over as National Security Advisor in February 2017 after Michael Flynn's resignation. In his tenure, he and Trump have had frequent clashes on policy matters. He is to be replaced by former U.S. Ambassador and Fox News analyst John Bolton. In a statement released by the White House, McMaster said, "After 34 years of service to our nation, I am requesting retirement from the U.S. Army effective this summer, after which I will leave public service. Throughout my career it has been my greatest privilege to serve alongside extraordinary service members and dedicated civilians." Designation: Chief Economic Advisor. Last day, April 2, 2018. The former Goldman Sachs president was considered one of the most influential members of Trump's cabinet as he helped push vital tax reforms. According to media reports, Cohn had initially planned to resign after Trump blamed both sides for violence at the Charlottesville rally in August 2017. It is believed that his decision came after the president went ahead in imposing tariffs on steel and aluminum imports to the U.S. Designation: Secretary of Veterans Affairs. Last day, March 28, 2018. On March 28, 2018, Trump announced Shulkin's resignation on Twitter. He wrote, "I am pleased to announce that I intend to nominate highly respected Admiral Ronnie L. Jackson, MD, as the new Secretary of Veterans Affairs in the interim, Hun. Robert Wilkie of DoD will serve as acting secretary. I am thankful for Dr. David Shulkin's service to our country and to our GREATVETERANS. Designation: White House Deputy Chief of Staff. Date of resignation: March 16, 2018. The former Deputy Chief of Staff announced in December 2017 his decision to step down in early 2018, citing his desire to return to the private sector. Along with Chief of Staff John Kelly, his areas of interest were public outreach and legislative affairs. He was also one of the top campaign aides of Trump. On his departure, Kelly stated, "Rick loyally served the president for 2.5 years and brought tremendous energy to the White House staff. He's a super guy and it breaks my heart to see him leave, but I look forward to his continued personal friendship and support for the president's agenda." Designation: Deputy Director of FBI. Last day: March 16, 2018. Just about 26 hours shy of his retirement, McCabe was fired as the FBI Deputy Director. After James Comey's dismissal, he served as the acting director from May 9, 2017, to August 2, 2017. Before returning to the position of Deputy Director, he drew criticism from the president for allegedly misleading the investigations at the Justice Department. McCabe retorted back, saying, "This attack on my credibility is one part of a larger effort not just to slander me personally, but to taint the FBI, law enforcement, and intelligence professionals more generally. It is part of this administration's ongoing war on the FBI and the efforts of the special counsel investigation, which continue to this day. Their persistence in this campaign only highlights the importance of the special counsel's work." Designation: Secretary of State. Last day: March 13, 2018. Formerly CEO of energy giant Exxon, Tillerson's nomination as Secretary of State was issued by Trump shortly after the new president took office in January 2017. As the most senior foreign diplomat in the U.S. government, Tillerson had only recently returned from a tour of Africa when his firing was announced by the president in a tweet. He was replaced with immediate effect by Mike Pompeo, the former director of the Central Intelligence Agency. Along with Tillerson, his chief spokesperson, Under Secretary of State for Public Diplomacy and Public Affairs Steve Goldstein was fired for contradicting the Trump administration's official account of Tillerson's dismissal. Designation: Personal aide of the president. Last day: March 13, 2018. A former starting quarterback for the Connecticut Huskies football team, McIntyre came on board as Trump's body man and personal aide on January 20, 2017. He was removed from the White House for undisclosed security reasons, but reportedly will be part of Trump's 2020 re-election campaign as a senior advisor. Designation: White House Director of Communications. Last day: March 29, 2018. The former press secretary of Trump's presidential campaign assumed the role of communications director on an interim basis on August 16, 2017, and was made the permanent director on September 12, 2017. On February 27, 2017, she gave a closed-door testimony to the House Intelligence Committee, where she reportedly acknowledged that she had to tell white lies at times. She resigned the day after. However, several sources confirmed that she had been planning to resign for several months and that her announcement had nothing to do with her testimony. Designation: U.S. Ambassador to Panama. Last day: March 9, 2018. The career diplomat filed his papers with the State Department officials on December 27, saying he was unable to carry out his duties under Trump. As a junior Foreign Service officer, I signed an oath to serve faithfully the president and his administration in an apolitical fashion, even when I might not agree with certain policies. Feely wrote in his resignation, "My instructors made clear that if I believed I could not do that, I would be honor-bound to resign. That time has come. Designation: White House Staff Secretary. Last day: February 7, 2018. Porter resigned from his position after allegations of physical and emotional domestic abuse from both his former wives came under public notice. Designation: Director of Communications for the Office of Public Liaison. Last day: January 20, 2018. Reports circulated of the former The Apprentice star being forcibly removed from the White House grounds. However, White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders announced that Manigault Newman resigned to pursue other opportunities. Last day: December 27, 2017. The Trump administration fired the 10 existing council members without explanation via a letter, while some members of PACA had already resigned in June 2017. Pictured: former PACA chairperson Nancy Mahan, who is also Senior Vice President, MAC Cosmetics and Global Executive Director of MAC AIDS Fund. Designation: Acting Administrator for the Drug Enforcement Administration. Last day: October 1, 2017. A holdover from the Obama administration, Rosenberg stepped down after finding himself at odds with the administration after Trump asked law enforcement officers to not be too nice to suspects. Designation: United States Secretary of Health and Human Services. Last day: September 29, 2017. Price resigned, effective immediately, after news emerged that he had spent more than $1 million of taxpayers' money on private charters and military aircrafts to travel. He had apologized for taking the flights and even offered to reimburse the amount. Designation: Director of the Office of Public Liaison. Last day: mid-September 2017. A close ally and friend of ousted Chief of Staff Reince Priebus, Sophakis leaving had been in the air for a month. He rejoined the private sector. Designation: Director of Oval Office Operations. Last day: September 20, 2017. The longtime Trump aide had reportedly been unhappy at having his access to the president reduced and told his close friends that he was planning to leave. According to CNN, one of his reasons was also his pay cut as part of the White House staff. Reportedly, he was making $65,000 as compared to his time at the Trump Organization, where he drew $94,000 annually. Designation: Deputy Assistant to the President. Last day: August 25, 2017. A former Breitbart staffer, he resigned due to his dissatisfaction with the administration. Regrettably, outside of yourself, the individuals who most embodied and represented the policies that will make America great again have been internally countered, systematically removed, or undermined in recent months, his resignation letter read. As a result, the best and most effective way I can support you, Mr. President, it is from outside the People's House. Last day: August 21, 2017. 8 board members of the panel tasked with advising the Department of Homeland Security on cybersecurity resigned. In their resignation letter, they cited the president's failure at giving enough importance to cybersecurity and for not denouncing the white supremacist rally in the following protests in Charlottesville, Virginia, U.S. Pictured: former members DJ Patil, White House Chief Data Scientist, and Environmental Quality Managing Director Christy Goldfuss. Last day: August 18, 2017. All 17 members of the committee, that included prominent individuals such as actor Kal Penn L., author Jhumpa Lahiri and artist Chuck Close R., resigned after Trump failed to condemn the violence in Charlottesville. The letter was posted by Penn on Twitter, and the first letter of each paragraph combines to spell out "resist," a call to protest the administration. Last day: August 16, 2017. With then Uber CEO Travis Kalanick becoming the first to distance himself from the administration by stepping down in February 2017, a host of other top business executives including Tesla CEO Elon Musk, after U.S. withdrawal from the Paris Climate Agreement, and Merck CEO Ken Frazier, after Charlottesville incident, left. The councils were eventually disbanded by Trump as a majority had resigned. Pictured clockwise from the top: L. Musk, Fraser, Campbell Soup CEO Denise Morrison, Kalanick, PepsiCo CEO Indra Nooyi, and EY CEO Mark Weinberger. Designation: White House Chief Strategist. Last day: August 18, 2017. The Breitbart executive was dismissed due to the White House's increasing frustration with his views. Bannon would publicly disagree with the president, and his chaotic tenure was also marked by infighting with his other colleagues, including Trump's son-in-law and senior advisor Jared Kushner. Designation: White House Communications Director. Last day: July 31, 2017. In the shortest tenure as a White House member, Scaramucci accused former Chief of Staff Reince Priebus of leaking information to the press and called him a paranoid schizophrenic, paranoiac during a New Yorker interview. His hiring and firing were equally controversial. Designation: White House Chief of Staff. Last day at office: July 28, 2017. Even after his ousting, Priebus told Fox News he will be Team Trump all the time. According to senior White House officials, Priebus had already been informed of his imminent departure 2 weeks ago. Designation: White House Press Secretary. Last day: July 21, 2017. After months of media speculation, Spicer resigned with the comment that there were too many cooks in the kitchen. He had warned the president about hiring Scaramucci and was unhappy with the new joinee. Designation: Director of the Office of Government Ethics. Last day: July 19, 2017. With 6 months remaining in his 5-year term, the Obama appointee abruptly resigned and told NPR that the current situation has made it clear that the ethics program needs to be stronger than it is. He was a fierce Trump detractor and critical of the administration's ethics. Designation: White House Communications Director. Last day: May 20, 2017. He quit during a shakeup in the communications team, tendering his resignation on May 18. "The reasons for my departure are personal," he wrote in an email to his friends, "but it has been my great honor to serve President Trump in this administration." Designation: FBI Director. Last day: May 9, 2017. Criticized for his handling of the Hillary Clinton email investigation, Comey was promptly fired by Trump, becoming the second FBI director to be let go in the history of the country. He was also handling the investigation into the Russian interference in the 2016 elections. Designation: White House Chief Usher. Last day: May 5, 2017. Responsible for the management of the White House and its staff, Reid was fired after holding the post for 6 years. She was the first female and the second African American in the role. Designation: Surgeon General. Last day: April 21, 2017. Another Obama holdover, Murthy was asked to resign after assisting in a smooth transition into the new Trump administration. He was the first Indian American and the youngest to be appointed in December 2014. Designation: Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Last day: March 11, 2017. After he refused to submit his resignation to Attorney General Jeff Sessions, Bharara was promptly fired along with 45 other Obama-era attorneys. Designation: National Security Advisor. Last day: February 13, 2017. While he had accompanied Trump during the campaign trail, Flynn was forced to resign after it was revealed that he misled Vice President Mike Pence about the nature of his meeting with Sergei Kislyak, the Russian ambassador to the U.S. Flynn came under investigation and was let go. Designation: Acting Director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Last day: January 30, 2017. The immigration chief, who had served U.S. immigration agencies for 20 years, was abruptly removed from office. There were no reasons given for letting him go, and he was swiftly replaced by Thomas D. Homan. Designation: Acting Attorney General. Last day: January 30, 2017. The first individual to be fired, Yates had instructed the Department of Justice attorneys to not defend Trump's travel ban. The White House said she had betrayed the Department of Justice